Peace. So I wrote some affirmations based on what I'm working on. I felt inclined to write this out for each zodiac signs. You have Cancer, have Leo, and also I got Aries and Taurus. I wrote it for all the signs, but I just wrote more for these. So I was like, you know what? So what are some ways? So I was like, what are some ways to help with embodying your throat chakra, right? Like, so shifting your mindset with regards to speaking or not speaking, or just balancing balancing your expression, how you express yourself, right? So if you're a shy person, that's your mindset right now. You're shy. If you feel like you're shy and you don't want to express yourself because you're already affirming in your mind what is not necessarily serving you. So we have to like flip it. So in your mind, you're thinking like, well, I may not, for example, Taurus, right? So Taurus, I wrote down, what did I write for Taurus? I have love. I have abundance, and I just realized I should have put I have self-worthiness. And also going along with Aries, I am worthy. I am worth it. I am self-worth. I honor myself. I am love. So these are the things that you want to say to yourself versus the opposite. Like if I'm not good enough, you want to say, I am worth it. I am good enough. And if I'm shy, usually shy people don't express themselves. So the opposite of it will be, I express myself boldly, because shy is kind of softly. So I express myself boldly. I speak authentically. This is for Gemini and exercising your throat chakra. I speak authentically. I communicate confidently. I communicate effectively. I speak with clarity. I listen attentively. I discern instinctively. I discern intuitively. I speak with confidence. I inquire and ask questions for understanding and clarity. I am guided by my inner thoughts. I am guided by my inner wisdom. My inner guidance gives me provision to express myself. And you can just like whatever you feel guided to, like if you're vetted in astrology, you have an idea what Gemini is. The saying for Gemini is I communicate, I think, because it's ruled by Mercury. So you can just like write that out, even if you don't have that. Like if you have a hard time expressing yourself, never mind astrology, just going based on what you already know. So you can just focus on like, what do you want to do? Well, how can you flip it? So you want to keep saying these things to you. You may want to record it. Go to bed at night. Now, if you're going to sleep with it, I would advise to like speak in a way that is like a whisper or like a soft, lower voice, so that your subconscious mind can pick it up, because sometimes when we sleep we don't want to necessarily hear noise. Or you can like lower the volume just enough so that you're able to like, your subconscious is going to still pick it up, because then what's going to happen is going to grab it, and then you're going to end up dreaming about yourself, because your voice has information. And shout out to Professor Melanie. She's the one that advised us to be able to like shift your mindset. You want to record affirmation in terms of like I am worthy, confident, building, encouraging, all of those things you want to be able to pour back into you. And she suggested to do like a recording of yourself so that you are able to listen, because your only your voice is going to be true to you. It's more powerful versus someone else's voice, although sometimes you may not necessarily have the words to express, and some of us have that healing voice to heal others with. You can start there, but still your voice is good enough. And it's like interesting, because if you're dealing with worthiness, and you may be somebody that's like, oh, I don't really like the way I sound, I don't really like the way my voice sounds, so this may be a good exercise for you to be like, listen to your voice, record yourself, maybe video record yourself, and like look at yourself and just start to say these affirmations. I am beauty, I create. All of the analogies that comes with the personalities of astrology. Like, for example, for Cancer, I wrote down, I nurture my emotions, I nurture my thoughts, I am compassionate towards myself. So if you sometimes are hard on yourself and you are heavy on the judgment, the Cancer is all about nurturing, giving yourself grace. So I give myself grace. I hug myself. I allow my emotions to be expressed. I honor my emotions. I acknowledge my feelings. I am truthful with my feelings. Okay? Like, it goes all the way down. Like, if you're someone that's not like the best organizer whatsoever, this is how you start. Okay? Like, we're in Virgo, right? Currently the sun sign in Virgo, and the attributes of Virgo. So one of the things is I clear things up. I clean things up. I keep things in order. I cleanse my body. I clean my space. I cleanse my environment. I offer sound advice. I analyze day-to-day tasks. I plan things out. And so those are just some of the things that I wrote down, right? So it's like go with every single sign, and there's no right or wrong way of doing it. So let's say if one of the signs is like the saying doesn't go with it, it still flows because they piggyback off of each other. Because I wrote down for like Leo, for example, I put down I wrote I am, although that's a phrase for Aries, but it is tied to Leo. So I wrote down I am charismatic. The saying for Leo is I will. So I put down I will magnetize things to me. I will magnetize people to me. I will show up. I will be seen. I will honor myself. It's interesting because there's a reason why I probably wrote that I am, because Leo and Aries share the leadership quality. So they can work together, because I put down Leo, I will lead, but that also goes with Aries, leading, right? So not to confuse or anything, but just to keep it on a basic, you can just focus on the saying and what personality goes with the saying. So like Aries is I am, so like I am righteous, I am love, but I also put down that for Libra, because Libra is tied into Venus energy. I also put it for Taurus, so it goes in simultaneously with every with all the other signs, like what you intuitively feel. I had to write it that way, like, because even down to some of the words, because I'm like I wanted it to have an impact. So when I wrote I put I have bravery versus I have courage, because courage I heard it so many times, and for some reason I'm like, Taurus, for me, because you can also put that and it's impactful for you, then put I have courage. But I put I have bravery because it's been a while since I've heard that word. And it's interesting when it comes to words, and like overuse of words ends up being like numbness to it. Like, you know how we use jargons and things sometimes, or like just not even jargons. Like, I know we use certain jargons that we're just saying it to just be like cool or whatever, but it's also like let's, for example, when you go into to work and you're like, you had a weekend, right? Your weekend just passed, and let's say your weekend wasn't that great, right? And you're with a coworker and they're just like, good morning, and you say good morning, but like, what if it's not a good morning? What if you have a headache, right? And also, what if you didn't have such a great weekend, and but you say, oh, it was cool, it was okay? And it's like, those are the words that you got to really pay attention to. Your emotion, does your emotion match the words? If it doesn't, take a pause. Or you may not necessarily need to agree, you could be on a neutral. Like, it was okay may not necessarily mean that it was great, but it wasn't that bad either. Or it may have been like, you know what, there was some things that came up for me that I'm working through, and it will come through. So you can say it in that way, because sometimes you, although you want to be honest with how you really feel, like it wasn't that great, but some of us, we really feel it, like empathic. So it's like, I don't want to get sidetracked, but it's like, I used to when it comes to like, you're not really sick, you're calling in sick, you have to play the part. So sometimes when you do say you're sick, you end up being sick. So then if you're like not trying to be that there in that space, you have to switch it around. Although this is how I'm feeling in the moment, I'm not going to identify myself to it. I am this, I am that. Like I'm going to put I am, what's a powerful, right? Affirmation. But I am working through. I will be okay, right? Like, just encouraging yourself. Be your own coach, right? So those are the things that I have, learned in terms of things that works for me, and I'm still learning. I'm at work right now, and it's like, when I get home, sometimes I'm tired and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to tap in or do things that I'm supposed to be doing first and foremost, right? But now it's like, how do you integrate the things you've learned? You could be at work, you could be doing so many things, and it's like, but sometimes this is the best way to show up, because it's how people really get to know you. Like, what are you doing right now, right? Like, and even the type of work that I'm doing too, because I can be judged for it. But do I care? No, because I enjoy it. I like what it does for me. I'm grateful for it. Like, there's so much benefits that I get from it. Also, there's always going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. So there's going to be days where this is great, and there's going to be days that it's not. But I do want to integrate more of my creation. So the affirmation for that, solar plexus energy, right? For Leo, because Leo is the energy of creation, creative ruler. Shout out to Sister Myra. I will create, I will lead, I will play, I will show up. Now when it comes to money and things like that, I am currency. I have currency. I am abundant. So bringing it back to you, because you're the one that's going to lead through that. You're the one that's going to create that. And when times are rough, I put down, I am resilient. There's nothing that's going to stop me to get what I desire, to get to the next level that I need to get to. In this moment right now, it may look like, oh my gosh, things are falling apart, especially to other people. They're like, oh, like she's doing all her classes and stuff, and how's she going to do this? How she's just being judged, right? But then it's like, you just got to keep going through. Focus on you. Focus on your path. Don't compare yourself to someone else, because when you're on a race, right, when it comes to running, you got to stay in your own lane, because the minute you look in someone else's lane, it slows you down. It takes away your time. So it creates delays. When you compare yourself to others, it creates delay for your own opportunity. So you want to be able to focus on you. And sometimes it's not always like an easy way to do things. Like, so it's gonna be difficult at times, and those are the times where you have to this is gonna have to get done regardless, so I might as well do it now. Like Professor always said, you can do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way, and always give yourself grace. If you have a hard time with certain things, like for me, I still have challenges when it comes to meditating, like, sitting still and like really going deep. Usually when I'm tired, I can get in. When I do movement like comedic yoga, that's very helpful for me. And I know that to be true about myself. However, it doesn't mean that I quit. However, it doesn't mean that although I don't always get up between 3 and 5, which is the best time in the morning to do it, to consider that when I'm taking naps to do it different times of the day. It shouldn't stop me. It's only practicing to enhance this muscle. Of course, I want to strengthen that ability. Imagine if I can just do that at a drop of a dime so easily. But it's going to take time. It's not going to come easily, because sometimes we want things very quickly. We don't have the patience. But you gotta go, let me just make sure, what time is it? So I'm not, I'm taking my break right now. Okay. So you have to, I suggest, I don't want to say you have to. You don't have to do anything. These are just my suggestions. Find ways that is going to help you and encourage you. For example, another example I'll give. Like if you procrastinate with doing certain type of work, right? Look at your environment, your setting. Am I working in indoors? You may not necessarily be somebody that likes to be working behind the walls and things like that. You want to see a window, you want to see outside. You need to be out in nature, especially if it's still warm in where you are. Even if it's not warm, go somewhere, sit in a car, sit somewhere where you can see the trees, because it's interesting, because the focus is tied to ground. It's an earth element. When you hone in on something, it solidifies. Like, when you create an idea, when you're creating something, an idea, it's an idea first, it's a thought. But the more you put your energy into it, it becomes something, it materializes. And the material is the earth element, so why not be outside? Let nature nurture you, and while you're focused in the work that you're here to do, because you're feeling with your senses, you're feeling the energy of like, ooh, and you're being inspired now to do the work. Because, I could smell the roses, I could smell the flowers, I can hear the birds chirping, I have support around me. This is embracing, this is love. Appreciating that, right? Because sometimes we may be in that environment and be thinking about a whole lot of things that is keeping us ruminating on thoughts, but just starting to go back into the space of like, oh, I am thankful for this day. I'm thankful for my eyes. I'm thankful for being able to speak. I'm thankful for being able to come here. I'm thankful for my car. And just being in that space and then creating and building on it. Just remember, I'm not saying it like I always do this, but I always remember, or try to remember, that this is where I want to go to. Like any challenges that come up. And I also examine, whenever I have challenges, what are some things that have caused me to feel those ways. Because I noticed that, like, look at the ways, like when you've had challenges and you quit, what are the reasons why you quit? And then look at those times where you didn't quit, it was hard, but you kept going. And then what have you received as a result of you keep going? And for me, I noticed that it's like, whether it was like, I remember I did tap dance when I was like a few years back. I took some dance classes, and tap dance was very difficult for me because I'm not, when it comes to dance, like choreography, I like the freestyle dancing and things. I like choreography, but more fluid. But when it comes to precision and technique, and like, I was just like, nah. But I stuck through it. And what I learned is patience with the things that I don't know too well, having grace with myself. And that also goes, I remember I took a chemistry class, my first time taking chemistry. It's like a whole new language, learning chemistry. So, especially college chemistry, because high school chemistry was fun. It was like, it wasn't hard for me. But college chemistry, like, I was like, what is this? So the minute I realized I was frustrated, because I felt it in my chest, and in the chest is like the heart area, the thymus area, and because I felt it, I'm like, man, I can't do this. But then where did that come from? I think about all the past experiences coming here and like in the country, you know, being in learning setting, like, you know, have being diagnosed with learning disability and things like that, right? All of those things can trip you up. But really, you got to think that, is this really who you truly are? Because your soul been here, done it, so knows it. Even the language, you spoke this language before, it's just that in this lifetime you have to relearn this language, right? So all of those things, right? And then just think about those times where you were frustrated, whether it's learning how to drive a car, learning to play piano. What is the feeling that is coming up for you? Because when you immediately tell yourself, I can't do this, I look away because I'm thinking, I can't do this, then you can. You just put your stop. You put a stop there. But when you start looking at it like, you know what? I got this. Even if it's difficult, I got this. I'm going to do it. And I tell it to myself because I'm going to re-listen every time I'm having those difficulties or challenges and I forget who I am. Just coming back to like, this is who I truly am. I'm able to do this. I'm capable to do this. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I got this. So another thing too, what was I going to say? I think those are the three things that I knew that, you know, that's one thing you learn about yourself. Like, this is your perseverance. You're resilient. Even when things happen, once you get through it, it's like that is like the journey and I won't say the trial, but it's like you want to go through those situations because what happens, it really does strengthen you. Like, once you go through that, it's like, what else can't you do? The minute you tell yourself no, it's always going to be no every single time. But if you like, you know what? I got this. Sometimes you got to play with yourself, right? Like, let's go back to the Leo. And I'm going to write this all out. I have to type this out. So I also wrote down, I will play. I will play because life is like a stage, right? Leo energy, playful, childlike, having fun. When you're hard on yourself, the opposite of hard, right? Play hard. What does it say? What is it saying? When you work hard, you play hard, right? The work part, because hard is associated with work. That's why I was going with that. But you gotta also balance it. Yes, there's time to be serious. There's time to be disciplined. I also wrote that down. The Capricorn energy, structure and discipline, right? Like, those are the different things. Oh, pause for a minute. I'm gonna have to go.